there, how's it going? If you clicked on this video, I bet you felt frustrated trying to memorize words in English, right? That feeling that you study, and the next day, poof, it's all gone. Have you ever imagined the embarrassment of freezing in an important conversation because you can't remember that word that was on the tip of your tongue? Or worse, missing incredible opportunities because of it? Calm down, take a breath. I know exactly how you feel, and today I'm going to reveal another secret, a secret so powerful that English schools don't want you to discover. A memorization technique that will make words stick to your brain forever. Get ready to unlock your English and never forget vocabulary again. And best of all, in a super fun and effective way. Do you finally want to master English and never go through hardships again? So don't miss a second of this video. And if you want more secrets like this, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to not miss anything, and become part of our community of amazing learners. Here at Learn English Secrets, you'll discover the secrets that no one tells you to achieve fluency quickly and fun. Embrace this opportunity to transform your learning. So let's go! Powerful mechanism. Forget the boring and dull repetition. We're going to use a super powerful mechanism that will activate areas of your brain that you never imagined existed. Believe me, learning English can be much more fun and efficient than you think. The technique I'm going to show you is innovative and goes far beyond that classic repetition we know. Do you know why? Because we're going to use the power of visualization. That's right, thinking visually, creating images in your mind activates much stronger brain connections. It's as if you're giving a turbo to your brain to memorize words. This approach, which uses mental images to fix both the sound and the meaning of words, has a proven impact. It's a change of perspective that completely transforms your learning. It stops being that boring and repetitive thing and becomes something dynamic, fun, and, best of all, effective. And it doesn't stop there. This technique is also super efficient. Believe it or not, 1 minute dedicated per word is surprisingly effective. That's right, just 1 minute. And the result? Much better than those traditional reviews you're used to doing. To give you an idea, while pure and simple repetition generates only 12% retention, this technique achieves an incredible 50%. The numbers don't lie, folks. This is a new way of studying that really works. But before we dive headfirst into this technique, we need to prepare our minds. We need to understand how our brain benefits from these vivid images. After all, there's no point in going out there creating random images without knowing why. Understanding the process behind the technique is fundamental so that you can use it in the best possible way and get the best results. And that's exactly what we're going to do now. Open the door to the next methods we're going to explore together. So, get ready for a journey of discoveries and learning. Get ready to transform the way you study English and achieve results that you never imagined were possible. With this technique, you'll learn faster, memorize more easily, and, best of all, have fun in the process. Let's unravel the secrets of efficient and enjoyable learning together. Let's transform your English together. So, ready to start? Then stay with me because the best is yet to come. Experimental results. So, are you curious to know if this technique really works? Well, get ready because the results are impressive. I myself did a personal experiment to test this approach, and I was blown away by the difference it makes. Practical tests demonstrated real benefits. It was like comparing a sailboat to a rocket. The difference in memorization is simply glaring. And I'm not talking about guesswork, you know? I'm talking about concrete data, about numbers that prove the effectiveness of the technique. Remember I told you about the retention percentages? So, with simple repetition, we can memorize only 12% of the words. With this technique that uses mental images, memorization jumps to an incredible 50%. It's more than 4 times the result. This conclusion is a great incentive for you to try less conventional approaches. Sometimes we get stuck in traditional methods that don't bring results, but there are other ways to learn that can be much more effective and fun, and this is one of them. And the best of all is that you don't need to spend hours and hours studying. Remember I told you that each word needs only 1 minute of attention? Well, with this technique, you can memorize much more in much less time. This shows that the quality of the technique can outweigh the amount of time dedicated to studying. There's no point in spending hours repeating the same word without focus and without strategy. The important thing is to concentrate your attention for a brief period of time and use the right tools to boost your learning. And the impact is immediate. You already feel the difference right away. It's as if the word sticks to your mind and doesn't want to leave. This discovery is a great incentive for you to invest in this strategy. After all, who doesn't want to learn faster and more efficiently? And then curiosity increases, right? You start to wonder why mental images have such a great power of fixation. And it's this curiosity that leads us to understand the importance of the individual steps we're going to follow from here on out. Each step is fundamental to build a solid base of knowledge and to ensure that you can use this technique in the best possible way. So stay tuned because there's still a lot of good stuff coming. So, what did you think of these results? Did they motivate you to try this technique? Tell me in the comments what your biggest difficulty is when it comes to memorizing vocabulary in English. I want to know. Efficient study. And now, let's talk about how to transform your study into something super efficient. With this technique, you'll learn to take advantage of every second of your time and memorize much more in much less time. The secret is in the focus. Each word receives concentrated attention for 1 minute. It's as if you're giving a bath of attention to that word, allowing it to stick to your mind more easily. This method maximizes learning by reducing distractions. You know when you're studying and suddenly you find yourself thinking about other things? Well, with this technique, you'll learn to stay focused and direct all your attention to the word you're studying. It's quality over quantity. Instead of repeating the word without focus and without strategy, you'll learn intelligently, using the right tools to boost your learning. This concentration makes studying much more intelligent and effective. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn in just 1 minute. And the best of all is that you'll reduce your study time. Believe it or not, 1 minute is enough to generate a visual memory of the word. This shows that efficiency can outweigh the traditional method of spending hours repeating the same thing. With this technique, you'll learn to study in an optimized way, taking advantage of every second of your time. Every second studied is worth a lot. It's as if you're investing in high-quality learning that will bring you incredible results. And then, curiosity arises about the power of the minute, how to transform small moments into great learning. This is the key to efficient studying and to learning that really brings you results. And it's this curiosity that naturally leads us to the identification of similar words, which is the next step in our technique. With this technique, you'll learn to transform your studying into something fun, efficient, and best of all, personalized. You'll discover that learning English can be much easier and more enjoyable than you imagine. Step, similar word. And now, let's go to the step-by-step of our technique. The first step is to find a word in your language that has a similar sound to the word in English that you want to learn. This similarity prepares the ground for a strong association in memory. It's as if you're creating a bridge between your native language and the language you want to learn. This bridge will facilitate your memorization and will make the process much more intuitive. And it's not enough to find just any similar word, you know? The word found must evoke a clear image in your mind. This connection will help you fix the meaning of the word in English more naturally. It's as if you're creating a visual hook to help you remember the word, simplifying the word in English, transforming it into something already known to you. This technique makes learning more intuitive and less intimidating. You no longer need to feel overwhelmed with a lot of new and unknown words. With this technique, you'll learn to transform these words into something familiar and easy to remember. And the best of all is that this step prepares you for the next, which is to visualize the word in a meaningful way, creating stories that connect the sound and the meaning. It's as if you're building a solid foundation for your learning, one step at a time. So, get ready for the next step because it will take you even further on your learning journey. Step: vivid image. And now, let's bring the words to life. After finding a similar word in your language, the next step is to create a vivid image in your mind. This image must be related to both the sound of the English word and its meaning. It's as if you're creating a movie in your head to help you remember the word. The important thing is that the image is striking and that it reflects the idea of skill. This direct connection between the chosen image and the original meaning of the word is fundamental. The stronger the image, the easier it will be for you to remember the word. It's as if the image sticks to your mind and doesn't want to leave. And why does this work? Because our brain loves visual stories. It remembers images and stories much more easily than loose and disconnected words. So, by creating a vivid image, you're activating areas of your brain that are responsible for visual memory, which enhances your learning. It's as if you're creating a shortcut in your brain to help you access the meaning of the word whenever you need it. This double association, which combines similar sound and detailed image, doubles the chance of memorization. It's as if you're giving a turbo to your memory, maximizing your learning to the fullest. And the best of all is that this technique opens the way for the next step, which is to create a powerful mental association that connects the sound and the meaning indelibly, building an unshakable bridge between the English word and its meaning. So, are you enjoying the technique? If you're learning something new and finding this way of studying more fun, don't forget to leave your like here in the video, you know? This way, I know that I can bring more content like this to help you boost your English. Strong association. So, teacher, what's the secret to a strong association? It's like giving your memory an upgrade, you know? We're going to take that new word and stick it to an image that marks you, that makes you remember it whenever you hear or read that word. Think of it this way. It's like creating a superhero for each word. This hero will have special powers, which are nothing more than the meaning of the word. You know that feeling when you hear a song and it transports you to a specific moment in your life? It's the same thing. We want each word to take you to a scene, a story, something that makes sense to you. And then, my friend, the magic happens. Your brain starts to make the connections automatically, and suddenly you're using the word in conversations without even thinking. And it doesn't need to be anything complicated, you know? Sometimes the simplest associations are the most effective. The important thing is that it makes you laugh, that it moves you, that it makes you think, wow, how crazy. The more unusual the association, the easier it will be to remember. Want an example? Think of the word serendipity. Difficult, right? But what if I told you to imagine a being lost, like a cute little alien, finding a lot of delicious sweets by chance? The word serendipity means happy discovery by chance. See how the image helps you remember? And the best of all is that you can personalize the associations. Use your hobbies, your favorite movies, your favorite characters. The more personal the association, the stronger it will be. After all, no one knows you better than yourself, right? And don't be afraid to be silly, you know. Sometimes the funniest associations are the ones that stick in our heads. The important thing is to have fun in the process and let creativity flow. And remember, practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the easier it will be to create strong and memorable associations. So, let's get to work and transform your vocabulary into an arsenal of superpowers. So, are you ready to improve your English? A strong association is like building a bridge between the unknown and the familiar. By connecting the sound of the word with a vivid image, you create a memorable bond that activates multiple areas in the brain, helping with the fixation of the content. And don't forget the power of humor. Funny and unusual stories make it easier to fix the word, making learning lighter and more effective. Stimulate your creativity by relating words in an unusual way, freeing your imagination and making learning a personal experience. Adapt the associations according to your preferences, making the technique unique and reinforcing the memory, as each image becomes a personal symbol. This strong association prepares the ground for transforming examples into unforgettable stories. Story ingredient. Okay, now that we've boosted the association, how about adding a touch of mastery and turning everything into a story that makes your jaw drop? The story is the secret ingredient that will make the word stick to your memory like gum. Think of it this way. We already have the sound of the word, the image that it reminds you of, and now we're going to put it all together in a plot that holds you from beginning to end. And it doesn't need to be anything worthy of Hollywood, you know? A simple story with a beginning, middle, and end already makes all the difference. The important thing is that it makes sense to you and that it helps you visualize the word in action. And the best of all is that you can use your imagination without limits. Remember the word serendipity, that lost little alien finding sweets? How about creating a story in which he is starving, lost on an unknown planet, and suddenly he stumbles upon an abandoned chocolate factory? He goes in, tries all the sweets, and discovers that each one has a different power. This story not only helps you remember the word, but also entertains you and transports you to a world of fantasy. And don't forget about humor. A pinch of comedy can make the story even more memorable. After all, who doesn't like to have a good laugh? Use funny characters, unusual situations, and fun dialogues to make the story lighter and more enjoyable. And the most important thing, let the story flow naturally. Don't force it to fit the word. Let it fit into the story organically. The more natural the story, the easier it will be to remember. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Use your talents, your hobbies, your dreams to create unique and unforgettable narratives. A well-constructed story unites sound, image, and meaning, creating a complete experience that sticks to the memory easily. Humorous narratives are even more effective, as laughter helps fix the information in the brain. Imagine a scene where a skilled robot surprises everyone with his performance. This story transforms the word into something tangible and memorable, reinforcing the connection between the original word and the created image. This technique goes beyond simple memorization, creating experiences that arouse emotions and facilitate the recall of words when necessary. Reflect on how to create your own fun and effective stories, as this skill is essential for continuous learning and the expansion of your vocabulary. Practical example. Let's get our hands dirty and see how all this works in practice. Let's take a new word and apply all the techniques we've learned so far. The word for today is lambaste. Have you heard of it? It means to criticize severely. So, are you ready to transform this word into something memorable? First, let's divide the word into smaller parts to facilitate the association. Lambaste can become lamb, lamb, and bass. And now, how about creating a crazy story with these elements? Imagine a little lamb playing bass in a rock show. But he's terrible. He plays everything wrong, out of tune, misses the rhythm. And then the lead singer of the band, a super angry guy, starts to criticize the little lamb severely in front of everyone. What a scene! See how the image helps you remember the meaning of the word? The lamb being criticized by the singer is a visual representation of severe criticism. And best of all, the story is funny, which makes memorization even easier. And don't worry if your story isn't perfect, The important thing is that it makes sense to you and that it helps you connect the sound of the word with its meaning. And remember, practice makes perfect. The more you practice, the easier it will be to create memorable stories. And the coolest thing is that you can use this technique with any word. Just use creativity, humor, and your imagination to turn learning into a game. So, are you ready to become a master of words? The combination of sound and image makes memorization natural and lasting. Visualize the scene of the lamb being criticized to retain the word lambaste more effectively. This approach can be applied to countless complex words, transforming learning into something fun and accessible. And speaking of examples, take the opportunity and tell me here in the comments. What word have you always had difficulty remembering, and what crazy story would you create for it? Memory reinforcement. We've already created incredible stories for the new words, but we can't stop there, right? The memory needs a push to fix everything once and for all. It's like watering a little plant. We need to take care of it so that it grows strong and healthy. And with words, it's no different. The first tip is to revisit the images you created. Close your eyes and imagine the scene of the lamb being criticized at the rock show. The more you repeat this image in your mind, the stronger it will become. It's like watching your favorite movie several times. You never get tired because the story holds you and moves you. Another tip is to use rhymes and sounds to reinforce memory. How about creating a funny verse or phrase with the word lambaste? Like, the lamb took a lambaste because his base was a disaster. The more creative you are, the easier it will be to remember. And don't forget the review technique. Dedicate a few minutes of your day to recall the stories you created. It can be during breakfast, on the bus, or before bed. The important thing is to create a habit of reviewing the words so that they don't fall into oblivion. And most importantly, personalize the method. Use elements that you find interesting, that motivate you, and that make you smile. The more personal your study method, the more effective it will be. After all, no one knows you better than yourself, right? Revisiting the images mentally helps consolidate the word in the memory, reinforcing the association and making it more robust. Incorporating rhymes and sounds can make the memory even more effective, taking advantage of musicality and sound repetition to fix the word naturally. Dedicating a few minutes to recall the stories created maximizes learning, and this habit can be implemented in all study sessions for better results. Personalize the technique, adapting it to each word, using elements that you find interesting, ensuring that learning is done in a unique and personalized way. With the strengthened memory reinforcement, the next step is to encourage individual creativity, making learning a continuous and exciting process. Creative application. It's time for you to become the master of your own learning. Now that you know the techniques, how about using them to create your own stories, your own associations, your own methods? Creativity is the key to unlocking your maximum potential. Turn each new word into a short story with characters, settings, and plot twists. Use elements from your day-to-day to create associations that make sense to you. If you like music, use lyrics to create rhymes and associations. If you like cinema, use movie scenes to illustrate the words. Experiment with humor. Play with the words, create funny situations, tell jokes. The more you have fun, the easier it will be to remember. And don't be afraid to make mistakes, you know. The mistake is part of the learning process. The important thing is to have fun and let creativity flow. And how about sharing your stories with your friends? Exchange ideas, ask for suggestions, give feedback. Social interaction can enrich your learning even more. And who knows, you might discover new methods, new techniques, new ways to learn. Remember, learning is a continuous process. Don't stop exploring, experimenting, creating. The more you challenge yourself, the more you will evolve. And most importantly, have fun. Learning English can be an exciting adventure, full of discoveries and surprises. So, get ready to embark on this journey and become a master of words. Cultivating the habit of creating stories for each new word strengthens your memory and makes learning an eternal creative challenge. Personalize the technique using elements from your day-to-day to create associations that make sense to you, increasing the chances of remembering it. Experiment with humor. Play with the words and allow yourself to be creative, transforming the experience into something pleasurable and unforgettable. By exchanging ideas with friends, new associations can arise and enrich your vocabulary, surprising you in the discovery of alternative and even more effective methods. Awaken your imagination and turn each word into a new adventure. Conclusion! And there you have it, folks. We've reached the end of another amazing video. Were you able to improve your memory with these tips? I hope so. Remember, the key is creativity and fun. Turn each new word into an adventure, and learning will become so much more enjoyable. And now, as usual, let's test your listening and comprehension skills. Ready? Today's secret phrase is, "To improve my English, a crazy story I will." So, what did you understand? Complete the phrase creatively in the comments. I want to see your imagination soaring high. And if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss any English secrets. After all, here at Learn English Secrets, we show you that learning English can be easy, fun, and transformative. And so you don't miss any Learn English secrets, keep practicing and exploring the secrets of English by watching this video or checking out this playlist here. See you in the next video!